turn that shit up, man.
They want that smoke, bitch, I got it for 'em. They want that smoke, bitch, I got it for 'em. They want that smoke, you know I blow it. They call me Sunny Monster for a reason. I'm really dripping, leave a nigga bleeding. I get to squeeze and leave a nigga. They want that smoke, bitch, I got it for 'em. They want that smoke, bitch, I got it for 'em. They want that smoke, you know I blow it. They call me Sunny Monster for a reason. I'm really dripping, leave a nigga bleeding. I get to squeeze and leave a nigga bleeding. Raw Molly got me all up in demon mode. Mouth moving like I done put clean in my nose. Tryna catch me up, I can leave with some hoes. He standing straight up, watch I make him lean with this pole. Would've thought he was close, how that heat made him fold. Thought it was a game, he won't think no more. His brain's gone, nigga. It be exciting when I get to striking. Guns sound like thunder, hit you like lightning. Fight for your life, we don't do no fight. We really hit it, nigga. We worse than savage, they calling us Vikings. Police be riding, we still be sliding. Told you we hitters, remember the time. They want that smoke, bitch, I got it for 'em. They want that smoke, bitch, I got it for 'em. They want that smoke, you know I blow it. They call me Sunny Monster for a reason. I'm really dripping, leave a nigga bleeding. I get to squeeze and leave a nigga bleeding. They want that smoke, bitch, I got it for 'em. They want that smoke, bitch, I got it for 'em. They want that smoke, you know I blow it. They call me Sunny Monster for a reason. I'm really dripping, leave a nigga bleeding. I get to squeeze and leave a nigga bleeding. How about I leave him holding like the Bible?
Hey, Key. Hey, Key. Doug, what's going on?
Yo, what's up?
Hey.
Yes, sir.
What the hell just happened?
Hold on 1 second, Upper. Y'all give me 2 seconds. Go ahead and cook.
What in the heck just happened? That right there was wild. Well, I'm gonna tell you what wasn't though. The Abdullah Mason, Brian Corbett salute. Devin Beat Shakur salute. Creole the Traveler salute. Dub up here. Low salute, King. J.A. Dixon salute. Brock Howard salute. That right there, that looked like that wasn't even I'm gonna tell you one great thing though. I told y'all Abdullah Mason before 3 rounds. And Vargas, that boy Vargas is, boy, he has superhuman power with that shot right there. Cash Crypto salute, King. Those right there wasn't even, whew, man. Yeah, Shakur better stay away from Tank.
Okay, so we got the Navarrete fight. We got the Brian Norman fight right. We got the Abdullah Mason fight right. So let's start there. So Abdullah Mason did what he did. I always said when it comes to Abdullah Mason.
Before you do that, I just want to talk about the two the ones before that.
I'll go ahead.
The third round, right? Giovanni Giovanni Jargo stopped that Diabrahu guy. He stopped him hard, boy. I seen that right there in 54 seconds of round 3. The man is tall, he long, he was using his reach. He was piecing up the guy. And on the other fight right after that, the Debai fight, that dude, no, that was the Makai versus Debai fight where he was using that reach and the ref stopped it in the corner. And the first one, dude was just pounding that man. He dropped him off in the 3rd round. But let's go to the Abdullah Mason then. All right, Keith, we go to Abdullah Mason.
Okay. I mean, Abdullah did what I expected him to do. That man, I think he has, man, I mean, that 2-piece combo in the second was just, like, you saw, did you see his face? Did you see how dude took it and how he went down?
Yeah, I made a video of it. I got a short.
Goodness.
I got a short of Abdullah Mason and Vargas, both on my page right there. Both of them knockouts. And those was back to back. Like, I said, there you go. That's the best part of the card right here. Abdullah Mason, the dude he was fighting was supposed to be a good fighter. And the dude was pressing the guy. He was pressing Abdullah. He was pressing him. But as he was pressing Abdullah, he didn't see that. That's why I tell people speed kills. Speed kills. And he ran into that speed and he died. Because when he got knocked down the first go round, he had enough chance to make it out. But that second time, and then Abdullah set him up. And that's what I tell people about that jab. The way they do that jab. When you throw a jab out there to blind someone, and then you come behind it with a hook over top, and that's exactly what he did. And it was Kurtz. What happened to Doug?
I don't know. I don't know what happened to him. Go ahead.
But yeah, that's what happens when you blind the person and you throw it over top.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Brian Corbin, man, you know you spend your money, man. You can say what the hell you want to say, bro. Yeah, but you throw it over the top after you blind it. Yeah. That right there. And he disguised it well. And when he did that right there, it was a wrap. It was a wrap. And me and Key gonna drop the link. Anybody else want to get up here and talk about the fights tonight? Y'all can talk about it with us. But what did you see, Key?
With Abdullah?
Yeah.
I think Abdullah is gonna be a problem for anyone in the 135. I think they're
Even
going
Shakur.
to start
He'll get Shakur a problem with that.
Yes,
He's fast enough. He's fast enough to get Shakur a problem.
But I've always said that even with Tank, I'd be a little nervous. Like, dang, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Because Abdullah is bringing, I mean, just his looks, the way that he fight. He's never under pressure. He knows how to remain.
Got his own heat. He got his own heat.
Got
his own heat, just like Tank.
Yep, he knows how to remain calm in situations. I think that they're going to start pushing Abdullah more, especially, and I hate to say this, but especially with the little controversy surrounding Keyshawn Davis and how Keyshawn, reacted, coming out saying, oh, it was just weed and I ain't gonna stop doing this and da 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 da. I think that I think that they're starting to pick up that they got some here with Abdullah Mason. I really, and if they don't think that, they're fools.
I had been said it when Abdullah Mason first came out. I was telling people about it. Like when he was 2-0, I did videos on it. I told people, like, look, we got a winner right here, y'all. And they was like, what? I said, we got a winner right here, y'all. And people weren't listening to me, but I told them, I said, we got a winner right here, y'all. And so I feel like that they, now people starting to catch on. This boy, he's like Halt and Catch Fire. This boy, he does what he do. He does what he do. I don't really see nobody attesting to that boy right there. Like, for real. Especially, remember, he's only 19. He's only 19. So he ain't even supposed to have his grown man power yet, Keith.
And he's still clocking them.
Yeah, so this man literally has he has the requisites to be like a tank in there. Because he's 19 and he's putting grown-ass men down. And he ain't got his grown man strength yet.
Yep, that was an incredible stoppage. And
I said the way he disguised it and set him down, yes, that was incredible.
Yep, that was an incredible stoppage. And I've been telling y'all, I'm gonna keep saying it. He smokes as far as the prospects because he's still, looked at as such. He smokes
Yeah.
them all. The only person that'll probably give him a tick for attack right now, after he get a few wins underneath his belt, that's Andy Cruz, and that got an asterisk by him because, like I said, when I see Andy Cruz in that first fight with his only fight, he swung wild and fell to the ground because of his swing. And
Well,
I said,
he ain't never had to sit down on his shots. So that it's going. Well, Bo's got him in work in progress.
I know he got him in a work in progress, but I'm just saying if that time was to ever come, if them two meet, listen, I got Abdullah Mason over all of them. I'm just keeping it 105. I think Abdullah is with that. Mm-hmm.
Hey, also that Emilio Vargas, the one that fought after Abdullah.
Oh yeah, the other male model. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's in the run for prospect of the year as well. Hey, Doug, what did you think about Abdullah Mason, brother?
Abdullah Mason is the truth. First things first, I apologize. Shout out to my brother Upper, man. I appreciate you allowing me on. Shout out to my sister Key, man. Much love. You know what it is. Man, Abdullah Mason is the goods. I think he's the next coming. I think the skill set that he has. Oh, go ahead.
You've been with me for a while, Doug. How long have I been talking about Abdullah Mason since Pool County and all that? You don't remember?
Man, I've been right there with you the entire time. I backed you then. You know what I'm saying? Because KO was the first person to bring him to my attention, and after I seen the man fight a couple times, and then the length, the size, the youth, the ring IQ, the footwork, he got it all. And he's only going to get better. The only thing I question, I don't think he's going to stay at 35 too long. I think he's going to be too big for it. But outside of that, I don't give a damn what division he go to. The man's skill set is
like a Devin.
Impressive to me. It's impressive.
You know how Devin was able to stay at 35 for so long when he was young?
Mm-hmm.
Like, when I first did a video on Abdullah Mason, he was 17. He was 2-0. But he was down there. So he's still a child. He's only 19 right now.
Facts.
Yeah, he still got at least 2 years before he gets his man strength. Like, he's doing this to people without the man strength, baby. That's what I'm talking about. That whole boy, salute. Teach, salute, Kings. J.A. Dixon, salute, King.
I agree with you, especially when you speak on the man strength and the way, which I understand. A lot of the upper echelon guys, and I say that respectfully to you, the upper echelon guys, what they're gonna do is they early in their career they get guys out of there, and he getting them out of there. The difference is, in my opinion, with Abdullah Mason is that the man has so much room for growth. You know what I'm saying? And he's going to get so much better. Man, he's going to be, I ain't going to hold you. Outside of, I think, what's my boy name over there? Damn, I can't think of his name right now. I call his name any other day. Oh, man, Kid Austin. I think between him and Kid Austin, that's going to be the class of the division moving forward. You know what I'm saying? And as these guys move up, these guys going to come in and fill the role exactly how they're supposed to. And I'm excited to see what Abdullah Mason does, because I think he's the best of the Mason brothers. I think he's the best one out of them.
Yeah,
and
hands down, just like Boots was the best out of his family.
Agree. And so I think the sky's the limit for that young brother, man. I thought he had a hell of a performance tonight. I didn't expect nothing less. And I think he's going to start getting step-up fights earlier in his career than a lot of guys could get them step-up fights.
You are correct, humble servant. And I'm just a humble servant for y'all of the people. Abdullah Mason, him and that boy that came on right after him, Emilio Vargas. Those gonna be the class.
I like Emilio Vargas. He can fight. That boy can fight.
He can fight his ass off. And the dude he was fighting was
won the scrub. Now he won the scrub.
Nah, Mendoza was far from the damn scrub, because the guy he fought was on a 6-round KO streak. Like, the dude that he fought, the dude that he fought was on a 6-fight KO streak, and no, he got a 6-fight win streak and a 5-fight KO streak. The dude he fought was undefeated.
Mm.
A knockout artist, and he slid that man like a man sliding home from down third plate, bro. It was safe. That nigga slid on his face. I said, "Whoa, what you think about that?" And look, he disguised that very well. He came out. The dude tried to show him the power. Immediately took his power. Then he gave him his power. His power was a little bit more than the guy with Mendoza. And see, that's why people say it don't matter how many fights you have, it's who you fight. And see, this man was on a 6-fight win streak with 5 knockouts. And, you know, he went in there with this guy, Emilio Vargas, and his power was completely nullified because he was able to get off. Vargas took the power shots and he delivered his own. And with a shot that I didn't think was too powerful, he dropped him in the first round. Then when he dropped him, the man was on shaky legs the whole round. He actually touched the canvas again in that round because they had to stop the beginning of the second round because they seen it on an instant replay. And I like how they got that instant replay going back looking at things because now people not going to get away like Tio did against Sandor Martin. So now they going back. They checking every knockout, knockdown, and everything that looked close to a knockdown. And the only problem I hated was they stopped the fight right after they came out the corner. So the man got a 60-second break in the corner. Then they came out the corner. They stopped the fight again while they went over the computers. Like, I feel like when they go into the corner, you have plenty of time to do all that right there. Now you stopping the fight. You giving this man more time to heal, more time to recover, more time to catch his breath. But obviously that
Okay.
huh?
I was gonna say real quick, and I agree with you. The thing is, because you got that extra ref out there, you need to have him on the monitors immediately. And so once the round is over, they should be having and I don't think it should take 60 seconds to tell if what exactly happened in that moment. And so I think they got to have him on that screen immediately.
Yeah, watch the screen. Do your job. Don't be sitting there like a fan. You feel me? But yeah, but that extra rest didn't help him. It didn't help him. All it did was delay the inevitable. Because Vargas walked him down, the man backed himself in the corner. He kept putting his back against the ropes. Now, when you a power puncher, first off, you have no reason going backwards. Like most power punchers, they like to get their power off going forward. And if you fight any fighter that's considered a power puncher, they're not good on their back foot. They're not good going backwards unless it's somebody elite like Tank or Boots. But like I said, he was going backwards, so that negated his forward momentum. And see, his forward momentum should have persevered, but it didn't. It would have negated it. And then he had to be in an awkward position because he's not used to fighting going backwards. His fighting styles is used to going forward. And so it put him at a disadvantage. And then, you know, he tried to fight off the back foot, which people don't know. If you're not used to fighting off the back foot, it can be a lot harder to get your punches to have any kind of effect to it, to get them set up. Right. And so he put his stuff out there, and then he got clean clock. The man slid him across the turf like he was sliding for home base. And he did it on his face, though. Like, he did a face slide. Like, woo! It was over with. Try to get back up. He looked like Zab Judah versus Costa Zoo. It was over.
Yeah, but it was a really good fight. Shout out to those two kings today for putting on a absolute just amazing performance, because afterwards, man, Brian Norman Jr. and Quinn Randall, Rick Timms, I say this with all due respect, I don't know what, I mean, I had it going 12. I didn't see a knockout. I was just like, nah, but I ain't know it was going to be like this. Like the smothering of the shots. I'm very surprised because Brian Norman Jr., if y'all don't know him, and I didn't say this earlier, I didn't want to, you know what I'm saying, like convolute his name or anything, but Brian Norman Jr. and his father, if you type their names into YouTube and type in Tank behind it, they have went on a field day with Tank a couple years ago and recently about how Brian Norman Jr. beat up Tank, how Brian Norman Jr.
He beat up Bud too. He beat up Bud as well.
How he was just ready and everything else. And I'm telling people, I'm saying, look, what I'm seeing in the ring does not equate to, but I mean, sparring to sparring. I don't know what they was working on. But I said, if this was a regular fight, Tank gonna get him. And what I seen in this fight with Quentin Randall and Brian Norman Jr., I told y'all, he's not, I said he's a fundamentally sound fighter. He's basic. There's no pizzazz to him. There's no pop to him.
Who? Quentin Randall? You were saying this about Quentin Randall or
no,
Brian Norman?
Norman Jr.
Okay, go ahead. My apologies.
No problem. And so I said it was gonna go 12, and I didn't know it was gonna be like that. I had no idea that Brian was going to hit and smother his own offense. I've never seen that before. How are you hitting and you're smothering your offense before you can even let anything go? Now, he was hitting them with a couple combinations. By like the third round, Randall nose was bleeding. But then by like the fifth round, Brian cut on his eye. And I'm like, where's the offense for all of this to even be?
Where the hell that shit even come from? Like,
I think that came from a head, but I believe that came from a head. But
I was about to say, I thought that was a head, but because I didn't see the punches that did it. Like,
right, I thought it was a headbutt that created a cut over Brian. And I got to go real quick with what Keith's saying. I'm gonna go ahead and let you know, with Brian Norman being a Georgia boy, me being a Georgia boy, I'm biased. I'm very biased in his favor. I'm gonna be honest about it. So I will say I didn't see the punch that actually cut him, but I agree. And this is the problem. I just want to speak on that real quick. The problem I had with this fight with Brian Norman, I listened to what his father told him in the corner. There was very little instruction given. It was more rah-rah speech saying, hey, let your emotions go with you in this round. And no, that ain't what I'm trying to hear. I ain't trying to hear none of that. What I want to hear you say is stop falling in, stop jumping in, stop initiating the clinch by ducking your head and moving forward. And allow your hands to do the work. When you had a man on the ropes, stop smothering yourself. Take a half step back so you can let your hands go. And I didn't hear none of that from the corner. I was very disappointed in Brian Norman Sr. and the corner members over there because of essentially what I heard from him was go figure out how to win the fight. Exactly. Who tells their fighter that? Why would you tell your fighter that? No, the reason I'm in your corner is to tell you how to win the fight and what you need to be doing, not telling you to go figure it out. I ain't here for that. And so I was very disappointed in that corner tonight. I thought that was the one of the worst corner performances I've ever seen.
And before the fight even started, I even gave them the keys to victory. I sat there and said that Quentin got to use his distance. He can't give up his distance in this fight. And I said, Brian Norman, he's going to have to fight on the inner middle and the closer middle. He has to keep his correct distance and fire from in there. I didn't say take a dance with the man. It's like they was on a high school prom dance, man. I'm like, what is going on? Like, you can't even generate power from this spot right here. And
I understand.
Ain't no way this man beat Tank in no damn sparring.
But this is like he said, sparring is sparring, and a fight is a fight. I think there's a huge difference. And so what I seen from what I saw tonight, like I agree with you 100%. For Quentin Randall to win the fight, he had to use his length. He had to fight off his back foot. He had to use his jab. I didn't think he did a good job of that, which I think he's a hell of a boxer as well. I didn't think he did a good job. I didn't think Brian Norman did a good job. I kind of looked at both of them in the ring, and during the fight, I kind of got to a point where I'm like, what the hell are y'all doing? Like, ain't nobody really establishing their style right now. Y'all kind of just, Brian, you smothering yourself. Randall, you stand on the ropes, which we know that's not a recipe for success for you, but that's what you do. I didn't quite understand. I felt like, go ahead.
It seemed like one was scared and the other was glad he was scared. That's what it
Yeah,
seems.
yeah, exactly. It seemed like I'm gonna let hey, we could, as long as I can look like I'm active. And once again, I'm a fan of Brian Norman Jr. I think he can be the goods.
Well, I am as
But
well.
at the same time, from what I seen, he needs somebody else in this corner, man. You can't respect his father, and I understand the father, the son father dynamic. I understand it. He needs somebody else in the corner because the instruction were pathetic. Even the cut man, the father came up there and said some bullshit. The cut man came and then told him, stop falling in, stop falling into him. You know what I'm saying? Stop leaning in like that. Establish the mid range and let your hands go. Let your hands do the fighting. That's what the cut man was saying. And his daddy was in the corner, just like, yeah, that's what you. No, nigga, you should have been telling him that. He needs somebody else in this corner. That's embarrassing. That's embarrassing.
A lot of times, them father-son narratives, it be detrimental to the boxer. Like, you good with your father for your first few fights, but like when you start getting up in the ranks and stuff, most of the time you need somebody else. You can't just like look at Roy Jones and his father. Well, they did good. I'm not gonna use them, but look at Tio and his father. Like, Tio's father is not the best trainer. You feel me? We seen it in the Camboso fight. His son down, go knock him out and everything like that. Bill, he's okay, but his other trainers are great. You feel what I'm saying? Like, a lot of times that father-son dynamic, like the son that got his jaw broke, that was supposed to fight AB last year. You feel me? Like a lot of times the father doesn't have the, how I say it, like the father, he puts too much on the son and expects the son to know what he wants instead of giving out proper education. Like, plus as a father, you feel like you know best for your son, and a lot of times you need somebody else to see what you don't see. Like, it ain't like he was a professional trainer before his son. You feel what I'm saying? Like, yes, a father might know everything that his son can do because yes, that's his son. But a lot of times you got to humble yourself and bring somebody in there that's a specialist. Like, come on now.
Yeah, that too. And I want to add on there. So, you know what? To be honest with you, remember, Upper, we talked about a few days ago, and I was saying, I need to see these dogs. I need to see it comes a time when you in a match that a boxer is supposed to not only rely on his corner, but just have that instinct in the ring where you can bite down and get him up out of there. Remember, I was telling y'all that this tonight was the perfect example. And Vargas and Abdullah Mason basically gave y'all the blueprints. Now, I'm not gonna say Navarrete was horrible. I thought he did good. I thought he did, pretty good. Especially, I didn't know Conceição Chin was like that. Like, good Lord. But Navarrete did good. You know what I'm saying? I expected him to, though. But what Abdullah Mason pretty much showed tonight, like, that's what I'm talking about. Where you ain't gotta go to your corner. I don't care if your granddaddy, your dad, your uncle, your auntie, I don't care who's in your corner. You're supposed to know in the middle of that ring how to make adjustments. That dog right there. How to get that person out of there. How to impose your will on them. And I was very surprised that Brian Norman Jr., you have been sparring all these elite fighters. You were 24-0 before you came into this fight. And you actually didn't know to make the adjustment when you hit your combo not to smother it. And then which left you up for inside shots by Randall. Like, are we really sitting here talking about this at 24-0? Maybe at 10-0, maybe at 13-0, but 24-0. I know that's your boy Dub.
Hold on. Okay.
Come on now.
No. I'm not disagreeing with you, Key. I ain't disagreeing. The thing that I will say though is, when I look at fighters, fighters bring different things to the ring, right? One of the reasons, and I think Abdullah Mason is going to be incredible, is because I think he has a great understanding of the sport of boxing, right? With Brian Norman Jr., At 20, I always have to remember he's 22 years old, right? And when you're fighting somebody, I'm not going to say Quinn Randall is a savvy veteran, but I mean, the man is 31, 32, something like that. He longer. He can box. The man can box. You feel me? So I do think there's a different challenge that's presented there. The thing is that at some point in time, I think every fighter, and I even referencing Floyd, you know what I'm saying? You go back and listen to Roger in the corner. The majority of the time, Roger didn't have to give major instruction, right? Roger go whip his ass. But if you go listen to Roger in the damn, what's my boy name? I can't even call the fighter name. The nigga who got knocked out by Zab Judah in the Zab Judah fight. Go listen to Roger in that fight. Roger had a whole different tone than he had normally in the other fights. And
because he knew
and so all I'm saying is at the end of the day, with both of them being young fighters, I think that Abdullah Mason, the individual he was fighting tonight, it wasn't a huge test for him, but I still think he has a much more savvy understanding of boxing than Brian Norman Jr. does. I think Abdullah Mason has a much more savvy understanding, and so that's what I'm saying right now. What I'm saying is I think for Brian Norman Jr. to really become the goods that I think he could be, he got to get somebody else in his corner. He can't have his daddy in his corner.
And look, Dub, that's exactly what I said. I told you how them father-son duos, how a lot of times they don't work. But you know how you saying that he's 22, right? That Vargas boy and Abdullah Mason. Abdullah Mason's 19. The Vargas boy, I think he's 19 or 20. Both of them went against undefeated fighters tonight. So they had savvy people in there as well. A veteran versus a young up-and-coming upstart with knockout power. And you're going against a veteran with, you really don't see the KO power, right? Yeah, it could make for more than a difficult fight. But with that younger fighter, you got to watch. You got to watch that speed. This man that Norman fighting, he was 33 years old. He's almost at the twilight of his boxing career. And he made the fight harder than what it was. Because he could have stood there and pot shot that man all night. Or at least fired from that distance. Because if he would have fired from that distance, he would have effectively smothered Quentin's shots because Quentin has longer arms. So Quentin wouldn't have been able to use the full value. See, that's about distance. It's about being at the distance where you can get the full extension on your shots, but your opponent can't. That's all about measuring distance. Like if you got an opponent that got a longer reach than you, you get inside that reach where you're comfortable letting your shots go, but they can't get theirs off. That's one. And if you got a longer reach and they got a shorter one, then you pop off right outside their reach where you can pop him and not get hit as well. That's about controlling the distance.
Well, I just think that Brian Norman Jr. needs to go back to the basics. He needs to hire additional help. I do agree with that. Even Quentin Randall, his coach was even like, you want me to throw him in the towel because you fight scared. Like his corner was hype. You know what I'm saying? And I guess, you know what? I expected so much more out of Brian Norman Jr. I just don't know. I don't know what is going. I don't know what he was thinking tonight. I haven't seen him fight like that before. So I'm just very very shocked at Brian Norman Jr. I'm praying that his next, because I know that they want to push him. You know what I'm saying? To be the next star, push him into stardom, get him more time and everything else. But man, people remember your last performance, and they were literally saying in a crowd, screaming, "Boring."
Yeah,
boring.
That's a fact.
Plus, if you push him now, he's liable to get stopped going against somebody. Honestly, especially if he fights that way, he go against a more savvy veteran, he's going to be stopped.
I'm gonna tell you this. You know what I think, and I could be very wrong on my opinion on this fight. Once again, I still think Brian need better coaching in his corner, but I also think the same way, like he just brought up, how Quinn Randall, how his corner was speaking. It was a lot of tying up. Um, what I think that there I don't know, and tell me if this makes sense to y'all. When you spar certain individuals,
Initiated by
when you,
Brian.
hold on, calm down. When you fight other individuals, a lot of times, if and in our opinion, we would say, hell, if Brian Norman, if he get you on the, you don't want to be on the ropes with him. You don't want to be on the ropes with him. So I think there are times where you spar such tough opponents that they don't allow you to do some of the things Quentin Randall allowed him to do, and the fight ends up being a different. It just ended up being a different fight than what you was expecting it to be. Because when you look at Quentin Randall, you thinking, or I'm thinking, he gonna come in, he gonna box, he gonna be on the back foot, he gonna let his hands go early. He need to be first, and he probably need to be last to win this fight. And when he comes in and allows himself to lay on the ropes, then I think it kind of and then when you duck your head, what he gonna do? He gonna tie you up like a savvy veteran is gonna do. I ain't got no problem with him, what he was doing. My problem is there should be one after the second round, and you see that your fighter isn't understanding what's going on and isn't making the adjustment. That's what you there in the corner for, is to make that adjustment and let him know what adjustment he need to make.
Okay,
And
but to play devil's advocate, see, that's what I'm saying, man. About dogs. That's what I'm telling y'all. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, he should know
but
that.
everybody in the dog at 22, everybody in the dog at that young of an
I've
age.
seen Abdullah Mason do it. Yeah, I've
But,
seen.
but we can't compare Abdullah Mason to Brian Norman. We can't make that comparison.
No, that
That's why
makes
I said it.
worse.
That's
That
why.
makes
Hold on. No, it doesn't. Let me tell you why. Let me tell you why it doesn't make it real quick, and then I'll let you cook on it. The thing is you got to realize Abdullah Mason is the youngest in his family. You know what I'm saying, as far as boxing goes. So he been sparring against a higher level competition, and now you have Brian Norman Jr. He been having good fights. Yeah, he got boots. I got that. I understand it. But when you run into somebody and Boots ain't gonna let
Hold on,
Brian Norman put
listen,
him on the
Dub, right
motherfucking
side.
rope.
Dub, listen.
Hold
What
on,
I'm saying
let me
is,
just finish.
hold
Let me
on,
just
hold
finish.
on, just 1 second, bro. And I'm gonna let y'all have it for a
I'm gonna
minute.
forget my point.
Go ahead, bro. Just go ahead, Dub.
No, finish. Go ahead. Go ahead, brother. You know it ain't no disrespect.
Nah, I was gonna let you, but what I'm saying is, like, Boops is the youngest of his family, and he's turned out to be the best. Like Emilio Vargas, you know, he the younger. The youngest always become the best, like Abdullah, because
But
he
that's
got
my
big
point.
brothers to
That's my point.
emulate. He gets to emulate his big brothers, and I was conceding to your point. They get to emulate their big brothers, and you know, coming up, they the youngest one, copying what the brothers doing. So of course they're gonna be the best out of all of it. Now go ahead.
And then they brothers gonna give them a different style of boxing. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna show them what you gonna do against somebody who gonna come put their head in your chest. Somebody who gonna do. And all I'm saying is, I think that in this situation with Brian Norman, according to him and his father getting the sparring that they getting, you ain't gonna have nobody who gonna just lay on the ropes and allow you to do what you want to do. And so I watched Kid Austin. There was a point in one of his fights he was smothering himself. Why? Because he wasn't expecting nobody just to lay on the ropes and let him tee off on him. So he ended up smothering his work. And I think it comes with I think it's because of the age. And then when you have high level sparring, you're used to individual being able to you're fighting in the middle of the ring with people. They ain't nobody letting you just put them on the damn ropes like that. And so when you get in a situation you're not used to, then we see what we see tonight. The same thing, like I said, with Kid Austin, we seen him smother his work, and because an individual laid on the ropes and kind of was letting him tee off, and I think that's what we saw tonight. A player who didn't quite understand that he need to take that half step back to let his hands go, and he wasn't getting that coaching in the corner.
No, I disagree. I get what you're saying, Dub, but I disagree. I disagree because what I just saw with my own two eyes is even when they were in the middle of the ring, he was smothering his shots, not just on the ropes. I seen when he had caught Randall, he did not put the pedal, put his foot to the pedal and drive it home. That's what I saw, like he did with his last fight. I didn't see any of that. That man was fighting like he was nervous. I don't know if it was the crowd that was getting to him, because to be honest with you, I'm gonna keep it all the way 105. I believe both Brian and Shakur was in their head too much. I kept saying that both in KQKC channel, Just Do Boxing channel, and I said it on H Money channel. Shout out to all three of those kings. I said he's in his head too much. They were in their head too much. You
That
gotta
big
let your
crowd.
head fly. There has to come a time. There has to come a time when you have to separate yourself from your opponent. I said it with Devin and Loma. You have to separate. You have to create that separation that leaves no room for doubt. And all I saw was the tango. I saw the salsa, how much they were hugging, moving around, going on the ropes, hugging. And I mean, it's like every every three punch that was thrown, I'm going to hug you. It's like they missed each other. I was looking for the Quentin Randall that said, I'm going to beat you like your daddy did. That's who I was looking for. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm very disappointed. I'm glad I had Brian winning the whole time. I said a 12-round UD. But I'm just, to be honest with you, if that would have came out a draw, I wouldn't have been surprised either, to be honest. Like, because I was surprised that Navarrete got a draw. But them two definitely should have, like, neither one of them should have won, in my opinion. Because, like, really?
I like to score fights, and I couldn't score that fight to save my life because hell, and respectfully to Shakur, I couldn't score that fight to save my life.
No, I scored it.
I honestly, I would have gave Brian Norman.
We'll talk about that in a second. But I'm just saying, in general, I thought there should have been more activity. I thought Brian Norman. I thought he had the better activity.
I was
He
going
was,
to do it.
but he wasn't effective with his aggression. He wasn't effective, and I hate to say it that way, but because ring generalship means something, and he controlled the ring, but at the same time, you can't be a come forward pressure fighter and the aggressor and not have effective punches. He didn't have effective punches, and so it was a hard fight to watch for me, man. I ain't gonna hold you. I got bored with that fight.
Man, I'm gonna say that's what happened to me. But I'm gonna tell you like this, right? I would have gave both of them a draw because I felt like that loss is gonna sit Quentin Randall back because he 33 and that loss it hurts them both. And I feel like with the effort they both put out, I wouldn't have gave neither one of them a clear, decisive victory. And I'm just being honest. I don't feel like neither one of them deserve a clear, decisive victory because neither one was clear and decisive. Like I said, it's like
I think in that situation, Top Rank had to give a victory simply because the WBO International was on the line, whereas in the Navarrete fight,
you would think with the WBO International on the line, you would show more pizzazz and more. Okay, you don't want it. Give it a draw, and we'll put it back on the damn line.
I don't think that's how they look at it. I don't think that's how they look at it. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, that's giving a person a participation award. I'm not for the pacification of mankind, bro. Like I'm not giving away no participation awards, bro. And that's all that would have been a participation award.
Exactly. Thank you for coming, award. I was just very underwhelmed with that performance. I just pray that Brian Norman Jr. and his father, they go back to the drawing board. He needs an extra set of eyes in there. He needs to work because Brian got power. So he needs to work on strength training. He needs to be out there. Man, look, I had that man doing all kind of workouts. I swear to God, I would. Like, he needs to go back to the basics, honestly. But shout out to them. Brian got the win. Now let's talk about this Navarrete and Conceição fight. Wow. Wow.
They
What did
should have
y'all think
Mason
about that?
on the main card.
Huh?
They need to start putting Mason on the main card, yeah, undercard.
They're about to. They're about to after tonight. I guarantee you. They see. They starting to see now. People starting to
You
wake
could have
up.
swapped him with Brian Norman. Hell, honestly, you could have took both of them damn fights off the card and put Emilio Vargas and Abdullah Mason at the bottom. You could have Vargas, Mason, Navarrete, and they're going the Shakur fight. That would have made it better.
No, you can't do that because if you promotional company, what you understand is it's already a point in time where Abdullah Mason, Emilio Vargas, they're gonna headline their own shit at one point in time. They're gonna be the under. So now we got to try to bring what we got respectfully. We got to utilize what we got because they stable starting to wear thin.
I'm
And
living
so
for
you got to try to build other things when your stable starts to wear thin. And I think that's what a lot of what we saw tonight is what happened.
Yeah, well, to discuss this Navarrete and Conceição fight, I thought that was a great performance. The crowd really needed that because that was a snooze fest before them, and I'm I
And
like
after
Navarrete.
them,
I like Navarrete. I do. He's just so awkward. Like some of the shots that he was missing in the first and second and third round, I'm just like, man, an elite fighter will pick this man apart because he leaves himself open to the body. And I'm very surprised that Conceição was not taking advantage of that. Like, because he swings really wide, right? With his uppercuts and everything. And you could easily duck and just hit him, just get him. Like how Edwin was doing Shakur. Edwin was landing some body shots on Shakur. So I'm
like
just very surprised that Conceição wasn't really taking advantage, but I think he felt that power and didn't want to risk it because he got knocked down twice.
yes, I told you it was gonna wear down on him, didn't it?
bullshit. The second knockdown was bullshit.
One thing, hold on, Doug. But one thing I was gonna tell you, yeah, it may look like you can hit him when he's in that awkward way, but if you've watched Navarrete fight, when he's open like that, he also is still accessible to throw a punch. He got awkwardness and he has an awkward way of throwing punches. I've seen him with the right hook is extended. And I've seen him, I don't know how he did it, but he brought that left like as an uppercut up under the thing when the dude was trying to counter him. Like he can throw punches in different kind of, like he's a contortionist when he throws them punches. That's what I'm saying. He never really open like that because he can hit you from any angle, any kind of punch. That's one of his best qualities. He can throw punches from any angle. Shalom, Miss Just Do. Peace and blessings, Queen.
I just don't. I'm just. It was a good fight. I'm surprised they had it a draw, but the rounds where he got knocked down, Conceição, he came out like that did not deter him. That man nose had blew up 4 times his face. I mean, I was very surprised at the wheel. Like that's what I mean about digging in that dog. Like even in the 12th round, he was coming. Even in the 11th round, he was coming. Like he didn't you could clearly see the man mouth open. He breathing hard. You know what I'm saying? Nose messed up, tired, all kind of things. Even Tim Bradley was like, oh, it's the end. He tired. This is Navarrete finna get him up out of there. But that man never stopped. And if you heard his corner, the things that he was doing what his corner said, but he was also freestyling. He was
But
also freestyling.
That's called a dominable will. Because Robinson Conceição, I tell y'all that he gasses out. That man gassed out about the 8th. And he willed himself to the end of that fight. And Mrs. Just Do, peace and blessings to you, your husband, and your child. Or your children. I don't know how many you got, so I'm just saying to your family. Peace and blessings to you and your family. Hey, that whole boy, I told y'all that Navarrete was going. Robinson Conceição was in the perfect shape that night right there because he's not used to throwing these many punches or having this many punches thrown at him, and it was wearing on him early.
Well,
and like I said,
rematch, I think y'all gonna win.
I think this is the thing that we have to realize right here. in that fight, and I thought this was a hell of a fight, a hell of a fight.
I thought he was robbed though, but no, a robbery if it's like 8-4 and it goes the other way. That fight I can see it as a draw, but I had Navarrete up 7-7. Like the 2 knockdowns had me up right there. Like I had it like 6-6 with 2 knockdowns at one time.
Well, this is the thing right here. This is the thing. Going into the fight, um, first off, you got to remember who Robinson Casasio is. The man is a pure. You know, the man can box. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying?
I said
Hold on. Let me finish, brother. Come on now. Can I finish?
yeah, I'm just doing you, buddy. That's all.
Oh, okay. Go ahead then. Go ahead.
Nah, go ahead, bro. I was just messing with you, man. I'm trying to pep myself up a minute.
All right, so
I'm gonna let y'all cook for a second. I gotta get up and walk around for a second. Go ahead.
all I'm saying, the man, what I thought in the fight, I said that I thought Conceição would have success early in the fight, but I thought Navarrete would dominate the back end of the fight. Man, the heart, I thought it was all heart. I don't even know about stamina, none of that. I thought it was all heart from Robinson Conceição. That man, he the entire fight he threw get the fuck away from me punches. You know what I'm saying? Them punches where I can't let a motherfucker just walk me down and put their hands and throw the shots they want to throw. He threw them punches all night. He put everything. He missed a lot of them. I think that kind of hurt his win. You know what I'm saying? But overall, he outboxed, in my opinion, he outboxed Navarrete. He showed that one thing Navarrete struggles with, which we kind of we understood this, but he's the skill level. Conceição is a much more skillful fighter than Navarrete is. Navarrete is a better puncher. He for the level that, or excuse me, the weight class he fights at, usually he's going to be the bigger, longer guy. You know what I'm saying? In this fight, he didn't have that advantage the same way. Conceição was able to use his jab. Man, the man boxed beautifully. I thought the second knockdown, I thought that was a bullshit ass call by the ref as far as it being a knockdown. But who am I? Even with the 2 knockdowns, I still thought, and you got to know something going on. The man boxing beautifully with 2 knockdowns, and you get a draw. The man was boxing beautifully. He even with throwing them get the fuck away from me punches, and I thought, man, Navarrete just got, or it showed to me that if Navarrete have to fight somebody who is somewhat of a slick boxer, and I think Conceição is a slick boxer. If you got to fight that dude, then Navarrete gonna have trouble. You know what I'm saying? Don't run into somebody. And I know Bob was talking about Navarrete and Shakur, and I know what we seen from Shakur tonight. We'll talk about that, but Shakur way too slick for him. And Shakur might. Well, hell, I don't know no more. I was gonna say Shakur might stop Navarrete, but Navarrete got a chin on him. He got a beard. He took some punches square on the motherfucking chin. But Conceição got a beard as well. He took some uppercuts that was nasty too. So it was a hell of a fight. I thought Conceição won the fight, but I wasn't mad at the draw either. So I digress.
I'm gonna tell you like this, right? Now, Navarrete, we seen he had a beard because he took point blank, get the hell out of here and go to sleep shots from Valdez. And Valdez is a big puncher. And Navarrete was taking him on the chin like he was breakfast. He was looking like a little Canelo out there. But yeah, like I told people, I said that Conceição is the more skilled boxer. You gotta realize iron sharpens iron. You know, Conceição was in there with Valdez. He also was in there with Shakur Stevenson. You get in there with Shakur Stevens, you pick up some things. Even in a loss, it's a win. Big dose, salute, King. But even in a loss, it's a win. So Conceição has looked a whole lot different since the Shakur fight. I can tell you that. And he was the taller person. And Navarrete has never been the smaller person in a fight. I went back and looked at all his fights. He's never been the shorter fighter in there. So that took away some of his reach right there. But I felt like around the 7th, 8th round, Conceição was done. His will got him them last 4 rounds, and that's a dominable will. That man said, I'm not going down. This is my shot for a belt. And like I said, I had to fight 6'6" with no matter of fact, it could have been 6'6" or 7'5" in Conceição's favor. But what got it over was them 2 knockdowns, right? I had to score them knockdowns as well, and but I felt like it was a great fight. That card needed that. Like I said, the card would have been better if it had Mason, Vargas, Navarrete, and Shakur, because them fans was upset. You just had a war like that with Navarrete, and then Doug said we'll talk about that. Doug said we'll talk about that later. But Navarrete, if you put him on the card, you know you about to get action. That man don't know no quit. And what he lacks in skill, he makes up for in determination, stamina, and willpower. Because Navarrete, he's trying to impose his will. And any lesser fighter would have succumbed to Navarrete and them barrage of shots. But like Dub say, because they said I was throwing them get the hell away from me shots. And, they was coming. But Navarrete, it looked like he was throwing every mustard of energy in them shots. And he was already depleted. But he knew if he didn't throw them to get the man up off of him, he knew he would have drowned in that water. And I said that in the fight. I said that in the prediction. I said around the 10th, 11th, 12th round, Conceição might drown. Because I said it's going to build up. And it started building up. But, hey, you can't measure the heart in the man. And that man's heart got him through that fight right there. And I would have loved to see a rematch, to be honest.
Agreed. I think a rematch should happen. I would love to see a rematch.
They're talking about. They said that both of the fighters said they'll be open to a rematch. I would like to, and if there is a rematch, I got Conceição winning that fight. I think now that he felt his power and he see how awkward and everything, because in the 5th and the 6th round, if y'all recall, Conceição was able to time Navarrete a few times. Like he was starting to pick up
a bunch of times.
He was able to pick up on his timing. It's just those wild hooks. Because remember, like in the first round, when Navarrete threw, he almost turned himself around in a circle. Like, what is this? And I'm like, because Conceição was moving. That man's feet was cold tonight. I got it to him. That's why I agree with you, Doug. The second knockdown. Now, the first one, that was clean. But that second, I think, because they even had water in the. Did you see that?
Yeah, and that be the other thing. You got water in the damn corner. And I always say, I hate how they do the corners now. Anyways, that's a whole nother story. But you got water in the corner. You got a nigga slipping. I didn't even see a clean punch land. And you telling me that the ref counting you? No, stop it, brother. And my last point. What's his name? I can't even call his name. Navarrete leaning on the man. If he leans on him and he go down, you can't call that. It wasn't. Did y'all see a clean punch landed in that?
What I seen Conceição legs just give out. That's what I seen.
If leaning on me, I'm already tired. That my legs might give out. That might
That's
happen.
what I think right there. I seen that he was already exhausted, and Navarrete put his body on that man. I said, yeah, he can't stand. I said, because I already told you he was already exhausted. Like the man was fighting on pure will. And then that's
I gotta say one.
That's what
I just want to say one thing real quick. The CompuBot stats, that's some bullshit. I don't know who be counting them. I don't know who be doing the CompuBox, and I don't know who be doing it. But whoever doing it, hell, Stevie Wonder, Ray Charles would do a better job than these people doing, because I'm looking at these numbers and I'm saying, here, like, I ain't counted none of this shit that y'all done counted. And I'm watching the fight, as close as I could possibly watch it. So I don't know. I don't know what the hell going on, but these CompuBot numbers be out of control and ridiculous.
Yeah, and I definitely agree with that. That was a great fight.
I can say a lot of those shots, like, how he be doing little pawing shots and shit, they be counting those things too, like, shots that really ain't got nothing on, but it'll be like pawing jabs and stuff like that. They obviously have to be counting those. That's the only way I can see them numbers up like that for this fight right here.
Yes. So let's get to the most controversial fight of the night. Shakur Stevenson versus Edwin De Los Santos. I will say this, Shakur, in my humble opinion,
I fell asleep on it.
Shakur is going to remain where he's at. He needs a dominating performance. And Edwin, a star is born. Y'all go ahead and cook. Y'all
I'll tell you like this. I got to like round 2 or 3 and I fell asleep on the shit. And I caught the end of it because Key woke me up. I'm just gonna be honest. It was a snooze fest. That scene right there, boy. Whew. I'm gonna digress to y'all on that one because from what I seen, it reminded me of the Nakathila fight. That's honestly what it looked like, the Nakathila fight. Shakur felt that man power and he was gonna run. And I distinctly remember that man saying he wasn't doing that no more. He said after the Nakathila fight, he said he's gonna sit there and trade with anybody else that get in the ring with him. That man right there was on his bike. He had premium gas in that thing and he had his foot to the metal. But I'm gonna digress to y'all. Go ahead.
What I got from it, so with the first round, first of all, I'm looking at how they look behind, you know what I'm saying, the scenes. Now, I see Floyd, I see Bud, you know what I'm saying, put the chain around Shakur. You feel me? Shakur come out there in his mink coat, but I'm looking at him and I'm commenting in KQKC's channel, and I'm saying Shakur got to get out of his head. I saw it all on him. I feel like Shakur put so much pressure on himself for this performance, but to be fair, I said this maybe 3 weeks ago on here. I said Shakur he allowed the media, well, the media has painted him as a boogeyman, and he has painted himself as a boogeyman. Now you have to live up to that hype. What are we scared of? You see what I'm saying? And now you came into there with a guy who can go toe-to-toe with you, but you cannot trade with him. That was apparent. You went toe-to-toe with this man. You countered him. Shakur won just basically off of countering, defense, and ring generalship. I promise you. He didn't have to be aggressive. You can't be aggressive with an aggressive fighter like that, with De Los Santos. You cannot do that with him. But he won just by controlling the tempo. He clearly controlled it, in my opinion. His defense was impeccable. I don't care what nobody say. His defense was great tonight. His feet were great tonight. I seen him move all around. So I was able to see some things that I haven't seen with Shakur before. But what disappointed me was his offense. I saw the counters, but Shakur was throwing that one jab. And I get it. You got to be careful with a De Los Santos. You got to be careful with a power puncher, especially one that has stamina, because I was expecting Santos to gas after 6, 7, because Santos was throwing some wild, crazy punches, and he started to clinch up a little bit in the first half. So I'm like, okay, maybe Santos is starting to gas. No, he kept pressing, and if y'all notice, Santos wasn't sitting down. For 3 rounds, he fought without his mouthpiece. If that ain't telling y'all something, I don't know what is. So I was just, I said this fight will have implications for moving forward with a Tank. In my humble opinion, I know I got some Devin Haney fans in here, but just like it was a close match with Loma. This was a close match. And I can honestly say, Shakur got to get a couple more fighters underneath his belt before he think about pressing Tank. That ain't no Super Bowl fight. He just made that fight go down to 5. I had it at 750, 800K pay-per-views. If Shakur was to go on the run that I thought he was gonna go on, man, that fight would probably do 350 to 5, if that. You know what I'm saying? Shakur got to get some money underneath his belt. I feel the same way about Devin Haney too. Go ahead. Upper, you got anything to say? Oh, go ahead, Dub.
The upper drop off?
No, I think his devices is
Okay,
low.
no, we good. Look, man, listen. This is the thing right here. First things first. I rock with Devin, but I love Shakur. I'm a fan of Shakur. I rock with Shakur. I was so disappointed tonight in Shakur that it hurt me. You see me in the chat over there with KQ. I'm looking at the fight and I'm like, bruh, I understand that. And I understand using your footwork. You know what I'm saying? I understand feeling the individual power. I'm looking forward. After what we seen tonight, I want to see how Devin fight with Regis because he gonna feel Regis power. So I want to see what he look like now. And that just be me being honest because if the power make you fight the way that Shakur fight in this fight, man, or Shakur fought in this fight, I'm so disappointed. I think Shakur is the goods. I think Shakur can sit there with the best of them. I think he has some of the best upper body movement. He has good footwork, but he don't even his upper body movement. But he's able to be in range and then or be just out of your range, but be able to connect with you because you in his range because of the way he controlled distance and.
Like I said earlier.
I would go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I was agreeing with you. I said, like I said earlier about the distance. Go ahead. I wasn't wanting to talk. I was saying, like I said earlier.
I think that because of that, the distance control and the way he, the from what I've seen from him, I was looking for more of that tonight. I didn't see it. What I saw was I ain't never really see him get caught with just a nasty punch or nothing like that. I thought De Los Santos was the aggressor in the fight. He was the one putting more pressure on. But I was looking for Shakur to sit there and like you said earlier, Upper, after the Nakathila fight, what he said? Hey man, I ain't finna get on my bike. He was on his bike. He was on his bike, bro. And I was looking for him to sit in there, especially the way he been talking. And I like I tell you, I love Shakur. I'm a fan of him because I think he the goods. I want to see. I think he the goods. I was looking for him to sit in the pocket with Edward De Los Santos. I told my partner at work, man, and I told him that, man, why is Shakur finna put on a goddamn master class tonight.
You too.
and what I saw was everything opposite of a masterclass performance. I saw it being a very bare minimum performance, and it hurt me to say that. It hurt me to say that.
I'm gonna say it like this, right? I was telling everybody Shakur was going to use this fight to separate himself. I told everybody this is the fight that Shakur needs, and I stressed that he needs this fight. He's going against a talented fighter, a gold medalist who has speed, he has power. And I keep telling y'all, Africa said it was a 50-50 fight. He said that De Los Santos hits harder than Zepeda at 140. And Zepeda is one of the hardest hitters at 140. I ain't talking about William Zepeda. I'm talking about Jose Zepeda. He's one of the hardest hitters at 140. Now, Africa said that with Zepeda wearing 8-ounce gloves and De Los Santos wearing 16-ounce gloves and headgear. And he said the man could do stuff in the ring that is unexpected. And he said the man has speed and he has power that is freakish a little bit. So I knew Shakur said he was going to never get on his bike again. And he didn't. He got on that motorcycle. He got on a motorcycle and that thing was at down 4th gear. He turned it up. And Devin, I know Devin's about to have fun in the media tomorrow. I know his fans about to go ham about this because Shakur brought this on himself because what happened in the Loma fight. So expect a lot of backlash coming out about the boogeyman. Wasn't so like the boogeyman was on his bike. Like you can't be the boogeyman and run a whole fight. I'm sorry. That's called an oxymoron. That's like icy hot. It's just two things that don't match. And boogeyman and running boogeyman is not synonymous with running. And that's what he did. He got the hell up out of there. And if De Los Santos would have sold out a little bit more, he could have got to him. Because De Los Santos was right there. And like I said, this man been calling out Shakur for a year, so he's seen something. And I guess he really did see something. And Shakur, he lost my respect at the end of the fight, though. when you have a bad performance, or if a person do more than you thought they was gonna do, don't give me no excuse. We didn't see Errol Spence get an excuse on why Bud obliterated him in the ring. Shakur giving us an excuse talking about I didn't feel good. Bro, I don't want to hear that. You know it's fight night.
I didn't, hold on, real quick. I didn't get to hear the post fight press conferences. What he said? What did Shakur say?
He said, I knew coming into this fight I didn't feel good. I haven't been feeling good for the last 2 days. And he said, I knew when I got in the ring that I don't feel good, so I'm gonna have to do what I can to win. Bro, don't give me no damn excuse.
He didn't say that, bro. He tell me he didn't say that.
Bro, I lost respect for him. Matter of fact, I'm gonna digress the key because I know she heard it too.
Yeah, I heard that, and I was I don't feel as though he didn't feel well. I think that again he was in his head too much. But he also knew that he couldn't let it go. Now, I said before this fight, I said, man, I think Shakur is going to show the world because he knows what's at stake here.
Did you had him stop him, didn't you?
Yes, I did. I'm getting I said, I was like, I think it would go to a stoppage, 7-9. Latest is 11th because Shakur has been on a knockdown or a stoppage track. You know what I'm saying? For his last 4 fights. So I'm like, he's coming into his strength. You know what I'm saying? I'm thinking that this is going to be a cakewalk. He going to catch him. He going to catch Edwin coming in like he did Valdez. No, he didn't even let his hands go. He didn't even let his hands go enough for that to even happen. He kept Edwin at distance. He as much as he could. I feel as though with all the showboating that Edwin was doing, I think Edwin kind of jagged off, especially the 9th, 10th, and 11th round. And his coach was telling him, go get it, take it to him. You know what I'm saying? And I'm thinking that Edwin was going to go in and rush, but he didn't either. So there was respect on both parts, to be honest with you, because Edwin caught Shakur in like the 2nd or the 3rd round with a nasty stomach shot, which made Shakur bend over.
Shakur was thinking of one of those.
I saw that it knocked the wind out of Shakur. So Shakur got to get something tough going on. I don't know what his grandfather's going to do about that, because now that if I saw that, you don't think Coach Kenny and Coach Calvin ain't rubbing their hands right now? Like sign that contract. We dare.
Stop Ryan with a body shot.
That's going to be another liver shot.
And Barrios. Remember, he stopped Barrios with the
Barrios with the money shot too. Tank did do that now. Tank did do that. I ain't disagreeing.
That fight reminded me of a sparring match, honestly.
Yeah, man. All right, can I ask y'all a question?
Yeah.
After this performance from Shakur, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do y'all still think that I still think he the goods. I think Shakur is the goods. I think he understands.
I do.
But let me ask my question. My question is, when he comes up against power, are we going to see a different Shakur than what we would normally see?
I think moving forward, yes. Because every time, because of the adjustments that he's going to make. Now, one thing that I can't negate.
But you got to make them adjustments.
Wait a minute.
My bad.
One thing that we do have to realize is that, I realize is that Shakur do have an awesome team behind him, and his grandfather Cole. You know what I'm saying? His grandfather's a very good coach, and so I think they're going to take what happened tonight and sharpen up those skills. Now, the question is the $100 million question that's at stake here for Shakur, if he wants a tank fight. It's not about taking a power puncher. It's can you take skills and power? Because yes, Edwin has some skills, but Edwin, let's keep it 105 here. Can you see Edwin going 12 with Tank?
Hell no. Listen,
Hell no.
It ain't.
Shakur just went 12 with him. You see what I'm saying? So how is Shakur going to amount with Tank?
So listen to this. Hold on. real quick, I listen to this. So when this fight was made earlier today, matter of fact, I was talking to one of my partners at work, and I was telling him, I was like, well, the thing is, the thing that scares me about Shakur, which he proved me wrong tonight, the thing that always scared me, I was like, I don't know how great his footwork really can be if it needs to be that. Shakur showed he got that footwork. He can, if he really just need to get out the way, he can.
Oh yeah,
And this,
work is amazing.
and so now this is what becomes the question with a Tank fight, right? I agree with you. He gonna show Tank all that respect. The thing is he longer than Tank. You know what I'm saying? He bigger than Tank. And he got the ability, like he showed tonight, he got the head movement. Always, one thing I love Shakur for is his upper body movement. He gonna keep his head off the line. He got great upper body movement. When it was Edward De La Santos showed great upper body movement as well tonight. But he got that. Now he shows you. If necessary, if you got the power, I'm gonna get the fuck out the way. Just think about how is the Tank fight really gonna go? It might end up being we thought this was a boring fight. Tank ain't no big. Tank ain't no throw a bunch of punches.
No,
Tank stop.
It might be even worse. It might be worse. I'm telling y'all.
The Tank, the Shakur that we seen tonight, just like the Devin that we seen with Loma, Tank beats them both. I've been saying it. I will continue to scream from the top of my mouth. I know those boys. I have Tank number 1, Shakur number 2. But after tonight, that's what I'm saying, man, about knowing how to bite down and separate yourself from opponents. Whatever skill set they're throwing at you, knowing what to do, man. First of all, Shakur won just off defense alone. The man and the y'all, like what I was seeing, Edwin was barely hitting that man. The only time that he was hitting Shakur effectively clean was the body shots. That's it. And they were 2 and few. He didn't do enough for me. I had Shakur winning all like damn near every round. I probably gave Edwin maybe 2 or 3. That was it.
Man, the judges were in the pocket, and the judges scored it 116. 2 of them scored it 116 to 112, and another one scored it which is 8-4, and another one scored it goddamn 115, 113, which is 7-5, and they was in the pocket. They was in ball pocket tonight.
That's fine. That's fine. He got the win, no. But I'm talking about what I see. And say with the judges.
We didn't see the same thing. We didn't see the same thing.
All I'm saying is what I saw. I thought Shakur did just enough to win. His defense was on point. His footwork was on point. But as far as him separating himself from what I see with an eye test with a Tank Davis, man,
we didn't see them. We didn't see none of it.
Damn Tank putting that boy to sleep.
I don't know. He didn't see none of that.
I'm trying to tell y'all. And Shakur is my boy. You feel me?
I love Shakur. I love Shakur.
I mean, Tank putting him to sleep.
Just I don't know about sleep.
Like y'all got Devin putting them niggas to sleep.
I don't know, and this is the thing. I don't know if Tank put either one on to sleep because both of them got the footwork and the defense to stay away from them.
Oh, okay.
And they got the size to land effective shots. So we got to see what happens.